Let's do an analysis on Meta looking at the technical charts. We have the daily right here, and you see the arrow is currently pointing at a top-down trend line, as you can see, and Meta still having difficulty rallying. Now, we do know that it recently had earnings. If you zoom into February right here, you look at the E on the chart, that was the earnings day. And essentially what happened was Meta was already creeping right below the 200-day moving average, which is the pink line, right? If I pull my arrow in over here, this right here, the pink line, is the 200-day moving average. And you can see just before earnings, it was just sort of hugging it. And then once earnings happened, news came out, this thing gapped up, but it didn't sustain, right? It gapped up, it found, I guess you could say, essentially resistance when you draw a downtrend line right there, back at the downtrend line, and this is where it is today. So currently sitting at 674, right back below the 200-day moving average, and essentially giving back its earnings gap up. Right? Typically, this is a bearish move. I perceive this as a bearish move, and there is some downside risk. If we look at the broader markets going into the S&P 500, right, things are still just chopping around. We're still holding our 50-day moving average, as you can see right here, which is the orange line. I know it's been super choppy if you look at it. Lots of bouncing action off the 50-day moving average right there. But for now, it's looking kind of bearish, I would say. If we go to the futures, we look at the VIX. VIX is almost at 20, folks, right? VIX right now is sitting right below 20 at 19.55 and showing indication that it might want to go higher. So if that's the case, we might get a little bit of a pullback in the first quarter of the year. We could swing over to QQQ NASDAQ just to get the same information as well. This one's showing a lot more clear confirmation of a potential downside. As you can see right here, we recently broke this trend line right there. So get defensive, folks. It looks like it's going to get a little bit volatile. And then from there, we'll just have to see where the markets go next. And by the way, if you folks enjoy this sort of analysis, I do this every Sunday for 2 hours, and you could join for free. My link is in bio.